Hello there. Good evening. How are you doing on this fine night? Oh, all right. We remain calm, please. I'm just here to have a conversation with you. Why, yes, I am a stranger in your chambers late at night. But again, I'm here for a very good reason, all right? Oh, okay. All right, I'll back up. I'll keep my distance respectable for now. We are off to a poor start, though, I will tell you that. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shyrissa, and I'm a dragon. I live in the mountains to the west, and things have been going quite well for me lately, you know. But, there's just something that I feel is missing, something that I feel is absent, something that would make a cave a lair, you know? You understand, right? That's really what this is all about. The thing I am missing is, of course, a princess. So I would like to ask if you might be interested in the position. You couldn't. Well, why is that? Okay, you're listing several reasons. Allow me to assuage your concerns. A princess of a kingdom is certainly one thing, but a princess in the context of a dragon's hoard is quite another, all right? The simple fact remains that the primary role of a princess in a dragon's hoard is not to play any major role in the state or politics. Goodness, no, that would be nonsense. That would be ridiculous. The purpose of a princess in a dragon's hoard is predominantly decorative, as well as for providing company to the dragon, yes? If you were to be my princess, then I would do things like dressing you up in adorable outfits, feeding you delicious food, having stimulating conversations, and perhaps snuggle sessions. And with all of that in mind, the term princess, well, the horizons broaden quite severely, don't they? You don't need to truly be born of a noble house. No, why would you? Human blood ties and lineages, they mean nothing. Not really. They're a societal construct, you know? Likewise, gender doesn't matter. Anyone can be a princess if their heart is pure. And I believe your heart is quite pure, so regardless. What is your gender, by the way? Your pronouns? Okay, I'll note that down. So, moving onwards. Gender, irrelevant. Blood, irrelevant. Social standing, wealth, all inconsequential. I have a list of questions I have composed that should help determine whether you would make a good fit as my princess. And if you would just humor me as I go through them, I would very much appreciate that. What? Of course your consent matters in this case. If you decide you would prefer not to be my princess, then I will understand completely. I'm aware that there is a certain stereotype of dragons kidnapping their princesses, but I promise you that hasn't happened in many years, all right? Now then, already have your pronouns, so how about your name? I see. And is that what you would prefer that I call you? Or would you like to change things up? You have the chance to reinvent yourself here if you wish. Personally, I'm quite fond of flowery titles, you know? Like you could be Princess Lavender. Yes, Princess Lavender, first of your name, of the Shirisian Mountains. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, not that one. All right. Well, okay, okay. Feel free to consider any name you would like, though. Okay, okay. Next up, opinion on adornments. For instance, you see this right here, yes? This is a line of golden chain. Very expensive, very valuable, but it was acquired with a specific purpose in mind. You see, I thought, well, wouldn't a princess look absolutely lovely wrapped up in this? And it would be in a way that does not restrict movement. I would hate to cause distress, unless, of course, you would like it to restrict movement, in which case that can be discussed at a later date. But, you know, wrapped in such a way that it accentuates your princessly good looks, you see. I think that would be just lovely. And so personally, I think that would be a huge plus in a princess, is a preference for adornments, shiny jewels, glittering gold, as it were. Of course, this is far from the only thing. I also have plenty of rather conventional necklaces, bracelets, tiaras and circlets, anklets, rings, piercings as well. I am quite capable of administering them, and I have many decorations that go in any number of places, if that would be preferable to you. But what are your opinions on adornments in general? All right, quite positive. That's good. That's very, very good. That makes me quite happy to hear, you know? Because I would certainly love to decorate you as my princess. Are there anything, any specific things that you would prefer to avoid as a princess? As far as jewelry is concerned? Okay. I see. Yes, quite well. I hadn't planned on that, so not to worry there. You know, I'm glad to see that you've calmed down, really. You were so frightened at first. It made me feel bad, to be honest. I would hate to see you distressed at my presence. Right. Now, I will admit, all right, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Dragons, yes, you're familiar with dragons in the sense that you've heard the stories, and well, many dragons like to hoard valuables, yes. But there's a rather common misunderstanding that I would like to clarify for you. You see, many people think that the wealth and riches of a dragon are always gold, coins, gems, that sort of thing. That's hard and glittery, yes? But the truth is, hoarding is a part of a dragon's natural nesting instincts, and many dragons have their own vastly unique preferences. For instance, I actually, a good friend of mine, alright? I love her. Her name is, well, I call her Tyra. Beautiful dragon, emerald scales, wonderful woman. And she happens to hoard, well, the love shared between women. Yes, it's quite true. It's quite true. She has good taste, I say. But what she does is she goes out into the world and she finds those women in kingdoms that are rather restrictive. She finds them in their forbidden love. And she whisks them away. And takes them to her lair and says, "Here, you can love as you will." And then, you know, every now and then she asks, "Do you mind if I watch while you kiss each other?" It works out for her. Now, I saw you had a look in your eyes there. You had a particular look in your eyes there. That's not what I hoard. That's what Tyra hoards. She's wonderful. It's not what I hoard. Personally, I hoard soft things. All right? Silken fabrics, plushies, that sort of thing. And so I've brought a few samples here, a couple of choice selections from my lair. For instance, this silk gown here. I would like you to lay your hands against it and share with me what you think of the texture, yes? Because if I do wind up taking you as my princess, well, I will have to insist that you wear these fine silks, all right? A princess should wear nothing less, to be frank. A princess deserves to live in luxury, after all. What do you think of the texture? Is it pleasing? Wonderful, wonderful. And of course, we also have the concern of bedding, sleeping arrangements, and the like. And so I have brought something very important here today. Do you see this? This is a fascinating little artifact that I happened to pick up on a venture to the Fey realm. Oh yes, it's true. I manifested a portal to the Fey. A wondrous, strange place that is, with massive towers of steel and glass, and machines that let wingless beings fly like a dragon. I went to that place, and I performed a few exchanges with the unusual beings that dwell there, and I happened to acquire this. They refer to it, well, by several names, like Blaha, or among the more pretentious of the Fey folk, Blowhigh. It's a remarkable thing, this. Truly, truly it is. So I would like to, if I just... The bedding, my bedding, and likely yours, well, it happens to be full of various fluffy artifacts like this, yes? And so you would need to grow accustomed to sleeping whilst surrounded by fluff. Is this texture pleasing to you? You find it quite pleasant? Oh, well, yes, so do I. I might have to take you on a visit to the Fey realm with me sometime. There are these rather recent things. Well, recent in the grand scale. I believe they've existed for a few years now, but they're referred to as squishmallows. Have you ever heard of one of those? Well, I've heard tell that they are devilishly soft and squishy, hence the name. And there are apparently many varieties of them, so I would like to pay a visit and collect as many as I can. And if my new princess, which may end up being you, was amenable to it, I could bring you along and you could perhaps select one of your own, if that would be something you would enjoy. Yes? Yes, you like soft things as well. Then we are of like mind. I'm feeling good about this. Yes, I am. I am. So, yes, about the silks. Yes. Quite fond of silk. And the blah. And in fact, open to visiting the Fey realm for one of the squished mallows. Perfect. This is going swimmingly. All right, now the next thing I would like to inquire is with regards to the matter of personal space, yes? Because in my eyes, there's little point to having a princess if you cannot snuggle your princess, you know? And so, what I'm wondering is how comfortable you would be with me wrapping my arms around you whilst in human form, or perhaps enveloping you in my wings whilst in dragon form. As a test, I could perhaps move in close to you right now. Is that acceptable? Quite an enthusiastic nod. That's a good sign. That is a very, very, very good sign. It's quite the good sign indeed, I must say. And so if I came very, very, very close to you and whispered into your ear, does that elicit a pleasant tingle down your spine? Do you find it enjoyable? I sincerely hope so, because you are quite warm and admittedly quite soft yourself, which to my eyes makes you eminently huggable. Yes, indeed, I would like to hug you quite a bit, to wrap my arms around you and hold you tightly to my chest, to hear your heartbeat, to feel it, to let you nuzzle into me. That sounds quite pleasant indeed. This test seems to have been quite successful. In that case, I have but one final question for you. Before I think my search for a princess might just be at an end. My final question for you is, well, it's quite simple, all right? What I would like to know, if you were taken from this place in the dead of night, with no warning, and clear signs of a dragon's presence, do you believe that a knight would be dispatched for your rescue and return? Let's see. You believe a knight would be dispatched, but not for your rescue. Care to explain further? I see, because you are part of the peasantry. That does explain that answer, although it still makes precious little sense to me, this ridiculous distinction. Well, that's all right. So you think a knight would be dispatched to slay the dragon, but not to rescue you? Okay. Okay. With that in mind, I believe that such a circumstance could be managed. You see, I would actually much prefer that a knight to come to try and save you, because, well, I've always wanted a princess, but I've also always wanted a knight, you see. And ideally, you would have a brave young knight who strides into the dragon's lair to rescue the princess, perhaps hoping for the princess's hand in marriage, yes? But then, of course, the knight is bested by the dragon, because it's a little ridiculous, to be honest. Oh. I remember there was a time, a few hundred years ago, I served as an advisor to a king, yes, in disguise as a human. And, well, another dragon took the princess from that kingdom, and that princess was, in fact, the king's daughter, who had gone with the dragon quite willingly, to be clear. But the knight dispatched, but the king dispatched knight after knight after knight after knight, and none of them succeeded. They were all soundly beaten, and either entered the dragon's collection, or were simply removed from the premises, and their return was ensured through enchantment. And the king, I'll never forget his face when I told him, Sire, it seems that you're just feeding your knights to the dragon. Oh, yes. He tried to execute me after that, and so then I revealed my true form and burst out the roof of the throne room. It was all very dramatic, but so the knight will come and be soundly bested by me, and then the three of us will all have a conversation together, you know? And if it seems that all present are interested in the knight's extended residency, then that will be arranged, and if not, the knight will be removed from the premises, and we'll wait for the next one. You think that's quite an awkward method of courting? Well, dragons have done it for many, many generations now, so best not buck tradition in this matter. Okay, well, I must say, you seem like you would be an excellent fit as a princess for me and my horde. You will be well cared for, and you will, of course, be fully permitted to terminate your status as my princess anytime you wish. I would never hope to hold you against your will. That would be completely heartless of me. So, what do you say? Are you interested in the position? Are these terms agreeable to you? Yes? Wow, that's just lovely. In that case, let's step outside. I'll assume my true form, and off to the mountains we will go. I am so very much looking forward to our time together, my dear and lovely princess. Oh, you already blush so sweetly. You've assumed the role perfectly. This is going to be great.